What's going on, everybody? Today I want to take a closer look at Hercules, because as it turns out, he's not just an Olympian god, he's a god of the battle realm too. This dude is a straight up beast. So, I'm going to give a little demo fit here against Winter Soldier, and I'll try to explain exactly how Hercules works as we go. But it's going to be such a quick fight that we're going to have to sit down with his abilities afterwards. And maybe we'll do a second fight as well, once you guys have a little bit of a better understanding of how the champion works. But for right now, just know that I'm trying to build up these feats of strength. You can see it's that grayed out icon right now. And when you initially gain one, it turns to that orange color. And I'm trying to build up as many of those. And it increases Hercules' damage. You see the damage number pop up in red. One of the ways I'm doing it is through the heavy attacks. That's why I'm doing so many of them. But it's not the only way. And we'll take a closer look at all the ways soon. But for now, just know that, yeah, that's why I'm doing so many heavy attacks. But it's definitely not required to play the champion. It's just one of the faster, easier ways to build up these feats. And then you basically want to intercept with your specials, which will give you, precision buffs on the special 1, and then cruelty buffs on the special 2. And when you combine all those things along with Hercules' massive base attack, well, you get that. You get the flex there. And apparently Super Dirty Pickle is also growing his banana. How rude. Right in the middle of this video, Super Dirty Pickle growing your banana. But anyway, we've got, a total of 39 hits for this fight. Believe it or not, you can actually do it in fewer hits. But hey, man, we're playing live here. It is a 6-star rank 3 Hercules, to be fair, so it should be a pretty quick fight. But yeah, man, that was especially quick considering I'm not using any boosts, and I don't have any synergies on the team. To be honest, you're not going to want to play this guy with synergies, in my opinion at least. I mean, if you're just screwing around in Realm of Legends, sure, but he doesn't really need any synergies. It's a benefit of his that he's not reliant on the synergies. So anyway, let's talk a little bit more about how he works. Also, I should say I am running suicides, but that's because you're definitely going to want to with this champion, because I'm going to skim through it real quick here, but essentially he's 50% bleed resistant, which stacks with Coagulate, by the way. And if you are running Coagulate, you're going to get a bit of a heal at the start of the fight. He's also a bit poison resistant as well, meaning if you have the poison from the suicides on Liquid Courage, you're just going to be healing throughout the entirety of the fight. Now, this is a pretty long section. Listen, don't bother reading it. I mean, you can if you want, but I just want to focus on the top bullet point there, the feats. Just those 3. That's all we care about right now. So it says, there's 3 different ways to gain these feats. One is to strike a non-stunned opponent with any hit of a heavy attack. Now, Hercules, he has a double hit heavy, and what you can do is you can either just play it totally safe and just, throw a heavy attack. Your first hit will connect while the opponent's stunned. Your second hit will connect while they're not stunned. You'll gain 1 feat. Or what you're going to see me do in this next fight, and what I did against Winter Soldier, is if you delay that heavy attack until the stun timer is just running out, you can get 2 feats off of 1 heavy attack. Anyway, the second feat that we can gain here is just intercept a dashing opponent with any attack. Now, I normally save this for intercepting with specials because it's just safer, and you have to do it anyway because you gain bonuses for intercepting with your special 1 and special 2. You gain buffs either way, but you gain additional buffs. You multiply those buffs if you intercept with the specials. Anyway, back to the feats real quick. The third feat is just standing up after being knocked down. So if you accidentally get knocked down by a heavy attack or a special, or if you intentionally do it, you can kind of, I'll show you in this next fight, there are some little tricks that you can intentionally get knocked down with. You could even use your special 3 here if you really wanted to. It's not necessary, but your special 3 actually gives you an indestructible buff. So you can technically gain the indestructible buff and then get knocked down intentionally, and it'll be fine. But basically, I usually just ignore that one. I usually just do heavy attacks to gain the feats, and then I intercept with a special to gain the second feat, and that's pretty much it. So you gain a bunch of extra bonus damage when you have these feats. You're stun immune, which is great. I imagine this guy will be very useful against any sort of node that can stun you or anything like that. So yeah, and you just gain additional damage when you have the feats active. So let's do this fight against Cap Marvel. And keep in mind, like I said, the main way that we're getting feats of strength here are just by doing heavy attacks while the opponent is not stunned. Okay. Also, he's got persistent charges, so you carry over some of these feats each fight. So the ramp up becomes less and less as you go on in a quest, but it's really not much of a ramp up anyway. So I'm delaying that attack, and you can see I gain a double feat of strength there, right? You can also bait out heavies. He's got a fairly long heavy attack reach. And then watch this. Like I said before, you can technically get knocked down to gain a feat. Whoops. What I want to do is I only want to get hit by the last hit. There we go. So I didn't really take much damage. You don't have to tank an entire heavy attack. You can do the same thing with specials as well. But yeah, then we have the feats of strength. They're pretty much all built up. And what you want to do is you want to get your special one off first, in my opinion, because this has a longer duration buff to it. It's a 25-second buff, and I think it even has some extra duration based on your feats or something like that. To be honest, I'm not sure, but it's a pretty long duration. So then you want to get to a special 2, and you again want to intercept with this. And now I'll gain 3 of these cruelty charges, and they don't last quite as long. Also, they're stunned after the special 2, which is just nice for going in for kills here. Oh, I was slightly delayed on my combo. We could have killed her there, but I messed up the combo. Anyway, she's dead. Like I said, man, these fights, they go very fast. It's basically do some heavy attacks, intercept with your special 1, build up to a special 2, intercept with that. You win the game. It's over. Just like that, man. So yeah, Hercules, the dude's a beast. And like I said, you know, you do want to be running this guy with suicides because you like his base attack is actually extremely high, and just finding ways to increase his base attack because of how the math all works out with all of the the crit buffs that he gains from the special 1 and special 2, you're going to notice that damage so much more, and just all the resistance that he has in his kit here and everything. He's extremely suicide friendly. Now, something else about Hercules here that I did not mention is his awaken ability, and this is basically Corvus 2.0. I imagine people will be abusing this like crazy in Alliance quest, or I mean in a lot of quests, but anytime there's a timer in a quest, it gives him immunity. Let me read it out. It says, once per fight, when receiving damage that would result in a knockout, gain an immortality buff preventing death and making Hercules unblockable for 9 seconds. Immortality is paused during personal special attacks or while landing basic attacks, and is removed if struck by a special 3. So you get this every single fight, and it's just always active. It's once per fight, but you get it every fight. So literally in Alliance quest, you could join the fight. If you get hit right away, okay, you've got 9 seconds to do some fighting, and then you can pause and just totally abuse the game the same way that people do with Corvus. I think they wanted to lower the amount of Corvuses in AQ, and this is the only way to do it, is introduce someone just as busted to take some of that stock away from Corvus. The second part of the awaken ability there just says for 2 seconds after completing a feat, gain 35% combat power rate, and that's nice. I mean, you can certainly play this champion unawakened, and it'll be just fine. It'll look pretty much identical to the fights I was doing here. It's really all about that immortality, but the additional combat power rate, that will help you to stack up the specials a bit more. Also, if you use the class boost, oh my goodness, man, because you can actually stack up, like, you don't have to do a special 1 and special 2 the way I did it. If you wanted to, you could just do 2 special 2s, and now you're stacking up, 6 of these cruelty buffs, but there's diminishing returns. So in my opinion, it's best if you can do special 1 and special 2 and get both of those buffs stacked together. There is one other thing that I did not mention, which is this section right here at the top of the screen. It says dashing back after landing the first light or medium hit in a combo. It gives the opponent an infuriate debuff for 7 seconds, which makes the opponent more aggressive, and it reduces their offensive ability accuracy by 60%. It has a little bit of a cooldown to it, but this is really nice if you have a passive opponent and you want to get these intercepts in. It'll allow you to do that. So let's do one more fight here. I'm not even going to go through the entire fight against Juggernaut because I mean, it's well, you know what? Screw it, man. We will do the entire fight. Even though it's Juggernaut, I'm sure this will go fast enough. Even with his Unstoppable, even with class disadvantage. You can see I've started with some feats already thanks to the persistent charges carrying over from the previous fight. Whoops. Missed time to parry there. Don't know if that was on me or if that's the game bugs. Okay, I'm going to say that one's the game bugs right there, man. That felt like a good parry to me. Alright, so let's wait out the Unstoppable here. And, oh, he's a little bit passive. Let's hit him once. We'll back off. Now he's got that Infuriate debuff on him. He's more aggressive, which also means he's more aggressive to throw his specials, which against Juggernaut might not be the best thing ever, but yeah, that is how that works. Anyway, we're capped out on the feats of strength, so let's actually go to a special 2 now. We're going to try to get him to not throw his specials. Of course he throws it right away, man. Thanks a lot, Jugs. Thanks for making me look good here. Alright, so we intercept with a special. We're going to stun him. We've got some buffs going. My crit buff is going to run out pretty soon there, so we didn't get the full effect. And with the class disadvantage, we definitely lost a little bit of power, but that's alright. We're back to a special 1. And now we've got both buffs again, and Juggernaut is dead. So, yeah, this dude, like I said, he is a god. He's insane. He's super strong. He's got top 5 prestige in the game. This dude's going to break records in the arena. Good luck if you're grinding. My guess is like 160 million points. I don't know, man. The arenas, they're very unpredictable these days. But, yeah, because of how good he is, and just how high his prestige is, this is going to be a super highly sought after champion. And I think he's going to have real use when it comes to Alliance War. I don't think you're going to use him all the time in high level content or Alliance War content, but keep in mind that top bullet point right there. While Hercules has strength, that's just one of his little feats of strength, which again, you carry those over in the fight. While he has 1, he becomes stun immune, and then each stun prevented by this immunity removes 1 strength. So something like encroaching stun, totally reliable. He's immune to it. Not sure if there's anything else that I left out. Oh, you know what? There was one other thing. The special 1. On activation, you gain a True Sense buff, which bypasses the effects of miss and auto block for 16 seconds. The special 2, by the way, has increased potency against opponents with armor ups. And the special 3, one last thing that I'm not going to show here, in addition to the indestructible buff, which I mentioned earlier, it also says after this attack, if the opponent has 3 bars of power, Hercules gains a power gain buff, granting 100% of a bar of power over 3 seconds. So you can do some really interesting stuff with that. If you think about it, if you're pushing the opponent to 3 bars of power and you're indestructible, and you're going to gain a bar of power, like once they pop their special 3, you're essentially going to have 2 bars of power, right? So as long as the opponent doesn't have some kind of nasty effect on their special 3, you can actually strategically push the opponent to a special 3 and just be totally fine with it. But his special 1 and special 2 are so strong that that's usually what I stick with. I think the only last little bit here we go. The top bullet point, this is the last thing about this guy. For 2 seconds after completing a feat, Hercules gains some attack rating and plus 50% buff duration. So yeah, that's another reason that you really want to intercept with the specials and all that. If a special attack is activated during this time, the bonus remains throughout the special attack. So yeah, you're just gaining that increased buff duration. So it's really important that you intercept with the specials. But okay, that's pretty much it, man. That's my thoughts on Hercules. Guy's a beast. I would love to get him maybe one day. Good luck if you're going for him, whether it's through the crystals or you know, the arena or whatever. But yeah, man, this dude's pretty legit, and I would even go as far as to say he may just be the best champion of the year, potentially. It's still early days. We gotta see. I mean, there's been a few bangers this year. Hasn't been a ton, but he's definitely up there with the likes of you know, Shang-Chi and all that. So in any case, that'll do it for this video, though. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.